Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Nav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmit, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate.
And this is A Storm of Swords, chapters 2 and 3, Catelyn and Arya. In these chapters, Catelyn is grounded and Arya is lost. Blame Harmit for that one.
Okay. Heard the judgment there. Very strong.
It's bad, but I don't have anything better, so it's what it is. Welcome to the podcast, everyone. Yay! We're recording after a month, and it's exciting. But also, I'm tired. I just had a midterm, and next week when we're recording again, I will also have had a midterm, because for some reason, my professors think it's cool to have a midterm on a Saturday 3 times a semester. Okay. Rant
That's
over.
disgusting.
Harmit, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm alive. My main midterms were kind of over the last few weeks, so now we're kind of cruising. So
survival mode has been
Yes.
deactivated.
Yes, but now we're in confusion mode. Yeah, but it's Halloween weekend. I know you guys are gonna see this after, but happy late Halloween.
Yeah. Oh, are you dressing up this year?
Yeah, have a basic cat costume in the bag.
Oh. It's something. I need to, maybe tomorrow I'll go out and buy something, because I have not had the bandwidth, in my brain, or literal anytime to go and get stuff or make stuff.
Me too. That's why we just pulled out the classics out of the closet.
Okay. So, what did you think of these chapters?
They were fun. It was nice to be back, but I don't know. Arya's literally nothing happened. And I've come to expect that from Arya chapters, but I love Arya, so maybe if George R. R. Martin could make things happen in her chapters.
Yeah, it's Arya often serves as her chapters give us a lot of background insight, things going on, and she's the one that really interacts with the regular people in Westeros, so that's kind of the only POV we get. But yeah, also this is the very first chapter for the book, so we'll forgive them this one. What do you say?
Yeah, sounds good. Catelyn's was interesting.
It's full of nuggets.
It was cute. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Did you enjoy it enough to remember it for
That's
your
a
summary?
good question. We'll see. We will see, guys.
Well, before we get there, who died in these chapters?
Stop. Okay. Okay. Rob got injured. Hopefully isn't on his way to death. Catelyn found out that Tyrion is on a struggle
his
bus.
Deathbed, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and then right, because this would have been before that scene with Tyrion where he was kind of coming back to consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't think anyone died in Catelyn's chapter. And then in Arya's, we had I guess in her dream, the people
they kill the guard? No, but I think we heard about that in Jaime's chapter, but when Jaime escaped, they had to probably kill a guard.
Right. Well, yeah, that's
But
okay.
I'm grasping for straws.
Yeah. And then in Arya's, I think we just had the people that she killed as the wolf.
Oh, so you think she actually killed them?
Didn't she kill them?
I don't know. Did she?
I could have sworn it was that she killed them, but I'd have to go back to be certain.
Okay. We'll go back, but first, go forth and summarize.
Oh no. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so Catelyn's at Riverrun, and she gets grounded, as I had said previously, so pretty much they the Castellan, and then the other dude, like, the dude is like, oh, like, you have to go to your room, don't worry, we won't blame it on you, we know you're just a weak woman who, you know, this was a mother's weakness, and then she goes to her room or whatever, and then Lord Hoster's like, I forget the Terrace, I don't know, Terrace or whatever, and he's like, oh my god, like, I'm so sorry, blood, and this happens a few times, and she puts the dots together, and she's like, okay, my sister...
Switch.
I didn't hear that, I thought you said something else. Who's Arya. Okay, Arya's there, I literally have nothing to say for Arya's chapter. They're traveling, she's like, oh, this way's north, because the moss is facing this way, therefore this must be north. When we go north, we'll get to the, Trident, and then we'll go to Riverrun if we just follow the river and don't get lost. But they get lost way before, and, like, she refuses to sleep, but they have to sleep. Yeah.
Alright. That was fine, I guess. That's gonna be the theme of this episode. It's fine, I guess. Okay, so let's talk about Catelyn. Okay, before we get into the chapter, what do you think of Catelyn's decision to free Jaime?
What do I think?
Like, whether or not he makes it to King's Landing alive or not, like, putting that aside, like, was it a good decision?
We've talked about this before, right?
I can't remember, but so tell me now.
I don't think it was a good decision. Because, like...
Why not?
Because there were too many unknowns. Like, there was so much, like... Her decision was, like, trying to solve a calculus problem. You have to assume so many things. And in real life, you just don't do that. So she was like, okay... Assuming that Tyrion is still the one in charge, assuming that Tyrion is as, like, honorable as I'm apparently projecting onto him, assuming that, like, Brienne is able to get Jaime back. Like, do you know what I mean? There was so much that, like, she had no control over, and I just don't... And even going forward with the plan, like, yeah, Tyrion, even if Tyrion had still been the one in power, like... There's other factors to consider, like, Tyrion's not a dictator, he's not the only one whose opinion matters, like, you know what I mean? Like, she really was not...
Yeah.
It felt like a very rash decision, and it was.
When, I first read it, I kind of understood her decision, but the more I examine it, the less I'm, like, behind it, because, yeah, like, she is counting on the honor of people who she believes to be, you know, dishonorable, but also, like, I guess if she's like, oh, I don't care about Jaime's vow, I care about Tyrion's. But in the same instant that Tyrion made that vow in front of the court, he also sent those people to try to free Jaime. Like, there was a deception in that as well. So, yeah, I think she wasn't seeing the whole picture.
Yeah, it really just felt like obviously, like, I get that, like, over the last, like, I guess 2 years now, like, there's been a lot of, like, feeling powerless and things, like, happening to her and things happening to her kids. So it was just, you know, her trying to get some of that. But it's like, no, like, no matter how you look at it, it was kind of a bad decision.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, I just wanted to, like, see where we stood on this before we talked about the chapter. Okay. So she is out here, or rather, in there. I don't know, like, just you say in there.
That's funny.
She's in there talking to Sir Desmond and the steward. Is it? Okay, I don't even know how to say this.
Eutheritus?
Oh yeah, Eutheritus Wayne. Eutheritus Wayne. Wow. That has too many vowels in it. I don't like it. So she's talking to them and she's like, oh, these people love me too much. They don't even want to punish me. And they're, like you said, they're trying to be like, oh, we get it. Oh, you poor woman.
Yeah, don't worry. We won't pin it on you. Like, you just gotta hide in your... It's almost like one of your parents catches you doing something and they're like, it's okay, just go to your room. Like, I'll convince your other parent. You know, like, it has that vibe.
Yeah, and she's like, no, like, stop it. I knew what I was doing. I knew it was treason, and you need to punish me. And I appreciated that decisiveness. Because, yeah, they're just not taking her seriously, and it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
But she enforces this imprisonment upon her. They don't, like, know what to do. She's like, oh, put me in chains. And they're like, oh, fetters for my own lord's daughter. Like, they're like, clutching their pearls. Like, they can't believe it.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, well, then let me hang out with my dad and I'll take care of him and I'll be imprisoned except when I go on the roof because you didn't specifically say no.
Oh my
roof time for
gosh.
me.
Yep.
She's kind of like picking and choosing.
Yeah.
On the one, like, I get it. Like, she's using their like bias of like, oh, she's just a woman, like, to like get her way within this like confined situation. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm all for it, honestly. I think she's right to be like, yeah, you gotta, punish me, but also she's right to like exploit their feelings towards her. I think she's cool. I'm okay with it.
Oh my gosh, why are we analyzing everything she does in such detail?
I don't know. This is a Catelyn chapter. Isn't that the point?
Yeah. It is. It's funny.
Okay. So she's just praying that Jaime doesn't get caught and then, all of that. And she's thinking about how, what her father, like, if he were, like, awake and here, what would he think? Like, would you condemn me? Or, like, what if it had been me and Liza who were, in King's Landing? Would you have done the same thing? Or would you have just been like, yeah, well, whatever, let them die?
Yeah.
And she's just sitting there by her dad's side, and she says something like, oh, it's a monstrous, cruel thing to lose a child. And Hoster Tully is like, Tansy?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so why don't you sum up this, like, Tansy situation for me? Tell me what you gathered from it, and then I'll fill in blanks if I feel like it.
Like the whole Tansy situation, or just here before she makes the connections?
The whole thing. Let's do the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Who or what is Tansy? What's going on?
Okay, so by the end of this whole debacle, Catelyn is like, okay, Tansy is a nickname that Lord Hoster has for Lysa, Catelyn's beloved sister. I say beloved with a lot of contempt. And so Tansy, like, had sex with someone and got pregnant before she was married, which is, like, obviously not allowed because she's a woman, from, like, a high status background. And then Jon Arryn, who wouldn't want Riverrun's powers, so then Jon Arryn, like, married Lysa, but it's like, it's almost like this, like, shameful thing because Lysa wasn't, like, a virgin.
Right, but married. What happened to Lysa's pregnancy?
Oh, Lysa, like, had a miscarriage. Or, like, someone did something. Something happened and Lysa's baby, like, is not... That baby is not alive.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's a miscarriage or if it's, like... Obviously, there's maesters. Like, there's...
So you think Tansy is, like, Hoster's nickname for Lysa. And Catelyn doesn't know this, even though she lived in the same, like, house with her sister up until the point they basically left to go live with their husbands?
I don't know, because...
The maester says something like, oh, yeah, Tansy, that's a common name among the common folk, because they like to name their kids after,
right, like after plants
herbs
or
and flowers, yeah.
I don't know, but then, because originally, before she mentioned the Lysa thing, like, I was not, like, what I thought was, like, okay, maybe this is, like, someone that, like, Lord Hoster slept with, or, like, Edmure, like, I was like, Lord Hoster, Edmure, or, like, the Blackfish. I was like, maybe it's, like, one of those people. But then, like, Catelyn went and was, but then Catelyn, I guess, like, Catelyn could just be an unreliable narrator, but then Catelyn was like, oh, Lord Hoster would never do that. And then she was like, maybe Edmure, but, like, with Edmure, I was like, why would it, like, matter? Like, why would Lord
she was
Hoster...
thinking all of that before she came to a conclusion about Lysa.
Yeah. Yeah, but, like, when she said that, I was like, oh, okay, so what I was thinking probably isn't...
Right. Okay. All right. I think I'm gonna clarify it to the point that it's, like, it's pretty much there. You just have to, like, connect the dots. So, the only part is that it's not made clear what or who or what Tansy is, but I think I need to make that clear. So, Catelyn's theory and, like, the theory in general is that Lysa had sex with someone before she was married, got pregnant, and then Hoster Tully negotiated her marriage with Jon Arryn, who would get, like, the power of Riverrun behind his, battles, or his war or whatever, behind his cause. But in turn, he had to marry Lysa, who had been, quote unquote, sullied. Mm-hmm. But that Jon Arryn wouldn't be cool with her having some other person's baby while she's married to him. That one of the conditions of the wedding was that she would abort the pregnancy. Mm-hmm. And it's the general idea is that Hoster Tully forced Lysa to have an abortion, and that Tansy is some kind of herb used to facilitate the abortion.
Oh, okay. I thought we already had a name for, like, because, like, we've, like, met maesters and stuff before, so I assumed that if it was, like a forced miscarriage, like, it would have been, like, the herb would have already been specified. You know what I mean? Like, we would have already had a name for that.
No situation like that has really come up. I mean, well...
Hasn't it?
Well, yeah, I guess Cersei did say to Ned, like, oh, once I got pregnant and it was Robert's kid and I didn't want it, so Jaime found somebody who would get rid of it.
Okay.
So we've heard of the idea of abortions in this world, but, like, we didn't have a name. No.
Okay.
The other part is that Jon Arryn was pretty old and he hadn't had any heirs. None of his wives had any like, he'd already been married twice at this point, but he hadn't had any kids yet. So, like, the fact that Lysa could get pregnant was kind of like proof, like, hey, she can get pregnant and have more kids with you, kind of thing. So that was, like, a selling point as well. Right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
But yeah, sucky situation for Lysa. But the big question in all this, who did she have sex with?
Not to, like, be that person who keeps bringing up Littlefinger for no reason in chapters where he isn't there, but I think it's Littlefinger. No, I hate that, like, he connects everyone in a bad way. Like, do you know what I mean? He's in King's Landing, but then he went down to the south, and then he is obviously connected to, like, the Erie and the Riverrun, so he's just kind of everywhere. He just...
Yeah. Yeah. That is really a disturbing thought.
Yeah, he's literally a little rat who can just, like, weasel his way through whatever. Anyway. So, yeah, I think it's Littlefinger because when he was like, oh, yeah, like, I've had sex with both of them. And it just, and we know that Lysa, like, liked him, so...
Right.
And it makes sense.
It would make sense.
And then Hoster being like, what the fuck? So.
Does this have any relevance in the world today? Like, in this world at that time? Like,
I don't think so, right? Like, unless someone found out about it, and I don't think anyone did. And, like, I feel like, you know, like, if Littlefinger knew, like, things would have already happened surrounding it, you know?
Oh, what do you mean if Littlefinger knew that he would have used it to his advantage somehow?
Yeah, like, tried to. I don't know if he would have been successful.
So you think he never knew that Lysa was pregnant?
Or maybe he did. I don't know. You're making me dumb. I don't think he did.
I don't know. I'm just asking things.
Yeah,
we don't even know if it was Littlefinger.
I don't think he did.
Okay.
Which
cool.
is kind of hard to argue because how wouldn't he have... He wouldn't have known. Whatever. He was there at the time, though, right? Because otherwise my theory falls apart. Like, was he already... Like, when did he go to King's Landing? Is my question.
Well, King's Landing years later, but he was sent away from the Erie after he dueled Brandon Stark.
So that timeline, that could have happened.
It would make sense. Yeah,
Right,
like
'cause
around
then
then.
he
Because,
would-
like, it was soon after that, like, trial by combat or whatever they did that the war broke out, and then, you know, their weddings had to be rearranged because Brandon was dead and all of that.
That makes sense. And, like, for them to know, like, oh, she's pregnant and all of that would have had to be a few months. And that would also make sense in terms of him not knowing, like, if he was sent away, obviously, he wouldn't know. I mean, I guess she could write a letter, but that feels too risky. So I don't think she would have done that.
Yeah. The other thing is that if Hoster gave her this, like, tansy or whatever, Catelyn wonders if, like, that could have caused her, like, future miscarriages and stuff because of, like, the toxicity of the medication or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, even though it's not, like, a legit medicines aren't toxic, otherwise they wouldn't be allowed, but, like, this, like, natural remedy kind of thing. But yeah, that sucks. Like, from me, like, the fact that, like, Hoster's asking for Elisa's forgiveness tells me that she didn't consent to it, but also that, like, she had to deal with the consequences, not just that one time, but continuously.
Right.
And it makes me sympathetic towards her, and I don't really want to be, because she's not a great person.
Yeah, I feel that. Sad vibes.
Yeah. And
Rob gets a wound.
oh yeah, she, like, after she's kind of, like, come to this conclusion, she's hanging out and she sees or she hears people approaching at the gate, so she goes up to the roof because that wasn't, like, explicitly forbidden. And she sees that Edmure is back, and yeah, just, like, she watches as Edmure's there, and she's, like, watching. He doesn't come see her right away. Instead, like, she sees a bunch of ravens fly out, so she's like, oh, he's, like, doing business things, but not coming to see me. And eventually he does come to see her and is very mad, and just, yeah, and she hears news about the battle at King's Landing and how Stannis lost. And Edmure's sad because that means, like, the Lannisters have more power now, but she's like, oh, I didn't want Stannis to win because he's got them shadows. And they're just arguing, and he's like, oh, doesn't matter. I have sent ravens around to make sure they get back. And he, like, sent them to Riverrun. No, they're at Riverrun. He sent a bunch of ravens to Harrenhal because no matter what, Jaime and Brienne and what's his name, the Frey have to pass by Harrenhal, whether it's through land or river. So he's like, no matter what, they will get him. And Catelyn is very unhappy because she's like, oh, now there's no hope. Now they're going to kill my daughters for sure. And it's real sad. Yeah.
Like, regardless of, like if they capture him, I guess, like, bring him back or whatever. But, like, at the same time, it's Bolton, so I don't trust that.
Oh, okay. Well, like, what do you think he'll do instead?
I don't know, but I just don't, like, I don't know. He just doesn't feel like a listening to commands dude. Like, I get that, like, obviously he's, like, on Rob's side or whatever, but I just, like, don't trust him as a person. So I just wouldn't leave something this big up to him. But, like, yeah, like, whatever, they'll, like, bring him back. But then, so that's, like, a possibility. But, like, but, like, also Brienne is really capable. So I feel like the more likely thing is,
she
like...
capable of fighting an army-sized force, though?
Yeah, but, like, don't they, like, not have enough people at Harrenhal either way? Like, do you know what I mean?
Well, she's not trying to invade Harrenhal. They're not gonna, like, wait for her to come inside. Like, they're gonna surround her outside if...
I know, but, like, I don't know. I think there's a chance. So then let's say she, like, evades that or whatever. They can still, like, follow her the entire way. So that can still be a thing. But then, like, even if she gets there, like, the Lannisters... So now everyone knows that Jaime escaped, in quotation marks. So, like, that's... Like, the Lannisters already weren't gonna be honorable. And now they have a reason specifically to not be honorable. But at the same time, like, even if Edmure hadn't said that explicitly, Jaime could have just been like, oh, I escaped, you know? Like, it's still not very hard to make that argument. So...
Yeah. It's a flawed plan to begin with.
Yeah.
But, okay, so do you think they'll get caught by any of the Stark people? Maybe will they get discovered by any of the Lannister people? Or will they just straight up make it straight to King's Landing?
I think they'll make it to King's Landing. And that is where shit will go wrong.
And will any part of Catelyn's deal be honored?
I don't think so. It might... I really don't think so. Yeah, I think the only saving grace we might have is, like, if Arya makes it back, you know? But I don't think this whole Catelyn plan is gonna work.
Okay. Alright. Can you think of any...
I don't think so. I think we kind of covered
other
everything.
Predictions. Oh, Rob. Is he gonna be okay? One of the news she hears is that he's injured. Whoa. I mean, sorry. I mean, like, okay, it's a big deal. He's the king in the north, whatever. But,
I really hope he's gonna be okay, so I'm gonna pretend that everything's fine.
Okay. So he's going to be, like, physically okay, emotionally okay, all the okays.
Yeah, but it might just delay, like, because before I was like, oh, Rob's gonna march on up and be like, what the fuck, Mom? So he probably won't be able to do that, because he's a little injured.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he'll just be in emotional distress because he can't do anything. But he might, like, try to do stuff and then injure himself further, which would cause issues, but let's hope he doesn't do that.
Remember, he also did something to piss off the Freys, which we heard about at the end of the last book.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
I don't know. No developments.
Has that happened yet? Because, like, we don't really know where in the timeline this is.
Oh my god, right. Like, maybe it's directly, like, related to his injury. Like, they got him injured and then he was like, you're dropped. I don't know.
But they're the ones who are mad at him.
I know, but I don't know. Maybe it's related. That's my prediction. It's related to his injury.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. All right, then. Let's move on to Arya. That was really quick. I don't know. I spent so much time, like, dwelling on this chapter because I was trying to fit the pieces of the whole, like, Tansy thing in my head.
Yeah.
It took me, like, an hour to read this one just because I was like, okay, and then this happened, and then that happened, and then what? I kept coming up with questions, but then answering my own questions, and then, like, coming up with new questions.
That's funny. You just analyzed it so well, there's nothing left.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Arya. So, you talk about this one.
Yes. So, they are traveling, strutting down the river. I don't know why they're strutting, but apparently they are. So they're going down, and Arya has it in her mind that, okay, so as we know, the plan is to get to River Run. And she's very, like, she's super paranoid about who's following them and when they're gonna start following them. Because she knows, like, they took a lot of stuff, and they made it pretty obvious, like, at the end. Like, you know, a guard was literally murdered, like, they stole horses, like, they're gonna know this isn't something that's gonna go unnoticed. And so she's just kind of waiting for everything to fall apart. So she's, like, you know, refusing to sleep, refusing to, like, she's very much in, like, defense survival mode right now.
Yeah.
And so she kind of outlines that for us, and then she kind of is like, okay, we can't, like, stay on the road, we have to kind of go, like, weave in and out of the hills, weave in and out of the trees, like, we gotta be as deceptive as we can be. And then, like, Gendry and Hot Pie are kind of just, like, following her lead, because she's the one with the plan, like, she's going forward with it. And then she's kind of like, oh my god, like, I'm terrified for my life right now, but, like, I almost feel better than when I was at Harrenhal, because at least I'm not, like, trapped, like, I'm doing something, you know? Something's happening.
Yeah, I like this line. Well, first off, Hot Pie is terrified of her, because he knows that she killed that guard. Oh, yeah. But she's like, yeah, that's actually a good thing, because this time he'll be so afraid he won't yield all over the place. And then she's thinking to herself, like, I should be more scared. And I love this line. She was only 10, a skinny girl on a stolen horse with a dark forest ahead of her and men behind who would gladly cut off her feet. That, like, imagine that line out of context. A skinny 10-year-old girl with a stolen horse, with a dark forest ahead of her, and men behind who would gladly cut off her feet. It's just the most bizarre sentence ever.
Oh, yeah.
But it makes perfect sense, right? Like, in the context, it just...
Yeah, I think that just makes us bizarre. We're like, this checks out. Yeah, not even questioning it. Yeah, it is pretty...
We also get, like, an update on her age. She's, like, 10 now. I can't... Did she start off as... Like 8 years old, or was she 9? I
think she was 8. Yeah, I have no idea. These books are just blending together.
Yeah, she's just like saying her like Serial Pharrell sayings and Valar Morghulis and her prayer, and like that's just like fueling her whole angsty run away from Harrenhal business.
That's true, yeah. And then we get to a day without a dawn. This day is just like terrible. They're like, oh my god, there's no sun, the atmosphere is terrible, and they're just like going everywhere. And so at this point they kind of like try to debrief, and like Hot Pie and Gendry are kind of like, okay, so like what, where, what's happening, like why are we going this way?
And she's got like some good ideas. Like she takes them through streams when they can to like throw off the trail, and she's got this like theory of like moss grows only on the south side, which is true in some situations, but not always, which she finds out later, and they could have just been totally turned around. Like, who knows what's going on?
Yep.
And she's got her map, and they've like come across a little river, and Hot Pie and Gendry are like, yeah, this is definitely the Trident. And she's like, no freaking way. I've seen the Trident. I've been at the Trident. This is no Trident.
Oh my gosh.
And when they like look at it on the map, and she's like, it's probably one of these little rivers here, Hot Pie is so upset because it's like, to him it seems like they're right next to Harrenhal. He's like, your finger's almost touching it.
Oh, yeah. He like doesn't understand scale.
Yeah, but this is like a greater feat than she had imagined.
Yeah.
And she's thinking to herself that she could probably make pretty good time if she just abandoned them. But she's like, no, she remembers like, well, it actually doesn't say, but she's like, this is my pack. They're my peeps, you know, I got to keep them with me. But I flashed back in my head to Ned telling her like, when the cold winds rise, the pack survives and the lone wolf dies kind of thing.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
that's cute. Yeah, here she's just kind of like, okay, yeah, like these are the only friends I have, like I may as well keep them around.
Yeah. But she hasn't told Hot Pie who she is. She's like, I don't trust him. And Gendry knows, but he has his own secret, even though he doesn't know what it is. Yeah. Which is so sad. It's like book 3 and he still doesn't know. His like whole existence was the big plot of book 1.
That's so sad. Yeah, he should definitely be more angsty, but he's just kind of like, okay, like what's he, like, he's like a carpenter? Like, I don't know what to call him. Welder?
He's a smith.
Oh, okay, yeah. Cool. I know he, like, makes stuff. That's the extent of what I know.
He makes stuff?
He has, like, a hat/helmet. That's all I know.
And no longer. Remember somebody took that from him?
No.
What? No. It happened.
Sad. Like, I'm saying no as in, like, oh no.
I know. But also, some other dude has Arya's sword, Needle. I'm more sad about that.
No, but, like, he made that himself. So I care more about that. But, like, obviously both are terrible.
So, anyway, they're going on, and they she's doubling back and just, like, trying to confuse the trail until they, like, come upon the crest of a ridge, and she, like, sees, like, dark figures behind them, and she's like, oh my god, they're on us! But then she realizes that it's wolves, and she howls to them, and then the largest of them howls back, and it's great, because, I think that's Nymeria.
Yeah.
Because it's the right area, and she is the largest wolf, and it's a pack, and... Oh yeah, about her dream. So you think that was a wolf dream?
I think it was a wolf dream. Because it also literally said her dream was red and something. And I was like, if George R.R. Martin couldn't make it more obvious. He literally said, like, what did he say? Give me a second. Her dreams were red and savage. He literally said red dream.
Red dream. What's a red dream?
Aren't Bran's wolf dreams called
Green
red dream?
dreams.
Oh!
You're confusing your color.
I could have sworn they were red dreams. Oh my god. I saw that and I was like, oh my god, as if he couldn't make it more obvious.
Your biggest hint was totally not a hint at all.
That's so funny. No, but like at that point, you know when you're just using things to justify your argument? Like at that point I already thought that and I was like, on top of that, the red dream. That's so funny. My argument, that was such a...
Your thesis has been debunked.
Yeah. That's funny.
Okay, I think this is when she like falls asleep on her horse and it just keeps going around in circles until it eventually stops. And Gendry has to wake her up and be like, dude, you were asleep. Just go lie down.
She's like, no, I can make it. It's fine.
Yeah. And she doesn't trust Roose Bolton either. She's like, if they capture us, I'll tell them I'm Arya, but like, I don't know how it's gonna go because I don't like that dude. And I think they finally stop at some point because there's hills and they're like going around them, but maybe they're being turned all the way around, and the trees have moss on all sides and there's no sun and it's all a mess. And yeah, it's kind of anxiety inducing, but yeah, so they rest for a little bit. Oh no, wait. Oh yeah, when they're about to rest, at one of the points, they rest a couple times, but like at one of the points, what's his name? Hot Pie wants to light a fire, and Arya and Gendry both say no at the same time, and she's like, oh, like John, and I was like, oh, like John.
Oh.
So that was the thing. But, oh, and also, like, when they eventually do stop to sleep, she looks at Hot Pie, who's already curled up on the ground, and he's got a wedge of cheese in his hand, but, like, it looks like he fell asleep between bites, which is just so sad. I didn't know. Oh, yeah. That hit me too hard. Like, sleep and food are my two favorite things, and, like, the fact that he's like, I'm hungry, but also I'm so tired that I literally can't.
If you could choose between sleep and food, what would you do? Or if you had to, not if you could choose, then making it sound like a delicacy.
That depends on the situation. Like, is it
like are you going to bed hungry, or are you eating and unable to sleep?
I have occasionally gone to bed hungry, just because I'm that. Yeah, because I'm like, I just literally cannot get myself to get up and go get something to eat.
See, I'm the opposite, because I think it's just because with how many all-nighters I sometimes have to pull, it's just like where it's like sleep is like, oh my god, like, this is terrible, because after you eat, you can like go and function again, or like poorly function, you know? So it's just like less anxiety. But with sleep, it's like, I sleep, and it's just a terrible sleep because I'm so stressed out, but with eating, it's like I feel better.
Yeah, I think I use sleep to avoid life.
Me too!
So, I do that sometimes.
If you ever like see me like sleeping well, it's when I'm trying to avoid life. Like the only time I get like 7 or 8 hours of sleep a night is when I'm like doing terribly, because I'm like, I don't want to exist right now. Let's just sleep.
Yeah. Okay, back to Arya. So she finally falls asleep in the middle of her prayer, which I'm like, it's okay. You get to one day you can have off. It's fine. And she dreams that she is a huge, powerful wolf in her dream, and she sees the bloody mummers who are after her, and she rips them to shreds, and no one can stop her. And that is the end of the chapter. So you think that was a green dream?
I think it was a magical dream.
Yeah,
also,
I agree.
Because I was also, and it makes sense because, like, now that she's in close proximity, the dreams can finally happen. Because my first thought was like, oh wait, like...
So you think it's like like they can only really be dreaming...
Yeah.
If they're, like, so if she, like, goes further north, like, she won't be able to because Nymeria will be left behind?
I think so, yeah. Because otherwise there were several instances before where this would have been useful. I feel like there's, like, a physical connection there where, like, matter and, like, physical space
or maybe
matters.
It's a lack of sleep or, like, a certain amount of, like, stress threshold that you have to reach.
I don't think so. I think she has been in so many traumatic situations in the last 2 years that are just, like, there's no way this is objectively almost a less stressful situation. Like, do you know what I mean? Compared to what she's already gone through, if we're comparing her traumas, like, this isn't that bad.
It's true. It's just kind of like run of the mill, regular old day in Arya land.
Quite honestly.
Okay. Do you think she'll maybe meet up with Nymeria in real life, not in dream life?
Ooh, I want to be hopeful. We're gonna say yes. That would be cute. Like, she's literally right.
That's gonna happen soon.
I mean, it would have to, because...
She would be she would be unstoppable with Nymeria at her side. Like, we wouldn't have to worry about Arya ever again.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, though, because, like, obviously, like, Bran has Mira and Jojen to be like, hey, this is a thing, this is what happened. So I think because of, with Arya, like, that might not happen because she doesn't really have that knowledge. Like, she might just be like, oh, I'm sleep deprived and this was a dream. You know? But at the same time, like, it feels real, right? Like, but at the same time, she's
like,
sleep deprived.
But, like, she doesn't have to realize the dream was real to be able to run into Nymeria, because they are in the same
But
area.
I feel like it would be easier if she realized and was like, okay, where's the wolf? Let me howl, you know? Like...
Yeah. Say they both, like, they reunite, and Arya gets to River Run. Will Nymeria be, like, cool with being a castle wolf again? Because she's out here in the wild ruling this pack.
That's such a good point. Yeah, probably not. But she might, like, I don't know, she could still be, like, a wild wolf and still be, like, kind of close to Arya, you know, like, she doesn't have to be in the castle with her to, like, you know? Like how the wolves would, like, be in the Godswood type thing, but, like, a little bit farther, obviously.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Are they gonna make it to River Run?
I so badly want to say
yes. It doesn't look, like, if the stream was true, it doesn't look like the Bolton people are gonna be able to get them anytime soon, so...
Yeah, but, like, they also have no sense of direction right now. So it doesn't look like they're gonna make it, but I would really hope so.
Okay, and where will they spend the next little bit?
I have no idea. I don't know. Because they also haven't, like, run into civilization yet. Like, they've just kind of been... I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe they run into someone. Hopefully they're on our side and helpful.
Okay.
Because we don't really know anyone.
Well, okay.
Who's going in that direction right now? I honestly don't
remember.
Brienne
and Jaime.
Okay, yes. That would be a nice development. Cool? Brienne and Arya.
And then Bran could be like, oh, one of them's here? You Lannisters lied. I'm turning back to River Run.
That's funny. Oh my god. That would be so good. Oh my god, stop. That's too good.
But if they meet up, there's people out looking for Brienne and Jaime now. Yeah. That makes it more likely. But, like, we do want them to be found by... I don't know.
Yeah, but they could still be found by... Because what I think... Me too. But because what I think is going to happen is, like, obviously, like the people on, like, King Rob. I'm confused. The people on King Rob's side are also, like, looking for Jaime for, like, our purposes, right? But I feel like because he has now said, like, oh, Jaime escaped, like, they're not the only ones who are gonna find out. Like, I feel like this news will travel to people who are on the Lannister side. Yeah. And they will also be looking for them.
Oh, so, imagine if at the end of this, it results in Jaime and Arya being brought back to King's Landing.
I will literally... We are done this podcast. That is not happening. I swear, I cannot handle that.
Okay, wait, that's a good... Actually, what scenario in the books would make you stop reading them? Yeah.
I don't think anything would, because... not in, like, a good way.
What would get the closest, then?
Okay, yeah. Just because I have commitment issues because I know that once I commit to something, regardless of, like, you guys have to understand, I have read the worst books in the world and finished them.
Okay, so your commitment issues are that you can't uncommit.
No. My commitment issues are that I can't commit because I know that I will overcommit once I am committed to not committing. So are you committed
now?
Yeah, like we've put too many hours into this for my ego to be like, let's stop. So regardless of how bad it gets, we're good, but it'll just mean screaming more and harder to edit the episodes.
Right. So, but like
what would be the closest in a theoretical world where Harmit didn't have commitment issues? Where would I be like, I'm done with this series? Okay.
Yeah.
If Arya and Jaime, sorry. Arya and Jaime, I'm so used to saying Arya and Sansa. Arya and Jaime both get taken back. Brienne gets killed or, like, captured. And then, all the Freys get promoted.
Just random throw the Freys in there.
Throw
them into the fray. Get it. Oh, yeah. I'm so proud of myself. Okay.
And then, like, Tyrion dies, and then, Littlefinger, like, marries Sansa. And Littlefinger takes over Harrenhal. Bolton turns on Robb. The king beyond the wall and, like, all of those people, defeats the people at the wall. Jon dies. Like, Vargo Hoat, he's dead. Or, well, no, he was the one that survived. Yeah, sorry. Vargo Hoat, like, kills Nymeria. Bran and Rickon, are both separated, but they, like, both die. So, there's a lot that would be terrible. But honestly, like, if Arya and Jaime both get captured, like, that would honestly kind of be enough to theoretically make me quit. I'm like, you're kidding me. Both of them? Like, that was literally the only leverage we had.
But, like, captured by the Lannisters.
Yeah, and to King's Landing. Yeah. And at their mercy.
Okay. All right. That was a fun exercise. I enjoyed it. Let's talk about next chapters.
Oh my god!
So we'll be reading 2 next time. Predictions, hopes.
Ooh, let's go with, like, a new character. So new character will be the first one.
We've already had Jaime, a new character.
Okay, we can't just have one new character. That's so boring. Watch us just have one new character? This is so sad. Okay, whatever. No, we're gonna get another new one. I shall
refrain from comment.
Okay, let's get, like, I don't know, like, Davos and, like, Jon.
Close.
Okay.
So, chapter
4
is Tyrion.
How is that close? Literally, how is that close?
Davos was in the Blackwater. Tyrion's at King's Landing.
No! Okay,
tell me about Tyrion.
Okay, well, Tyrion's back in business. He'll probably just, like, we'll probably just get more updates on what's going on. Last time we saw Tyrion, he was, like, near death, and then found out of a pond. But healing.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe, like,
but he had lost all power and a nose, and...
So maybe he'll just, like, know what's going on. We'll find out more about Tywin. Maybe, I doubt this will happen, but maybe his family will come visit him. Maybe.
Okay. We'll learn more of, like, Tywin's administration style.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Now, chapter 5 is Davos.
He's alive!
That's why you were close.
Okay, he is alive! Yay! Okay, king. Literally king. Not literally king. King's, like, apprentice, or I don't know, whatever his role is. Davos is alive. We'll find out what happened with that. Maybe, we'll get an update on what, or I don't know if he'll have reached Stannis. Well, we don't even know where Stannis is. Where is Davos? I'm so confused. If he's still alive.
Tell me.
Okay. Maybe, I don't know, maybe him and Stannis will have reconnected.
Maybe we'll catch up with him in heaven.
The afterlife? Yeah, I strongly doubt it. Yeah, I'm thinking, like, a fun and fresh reunion with Stannis.
Okay.
Or maybe a reunion with Melisandre. I don't know how that would happen because she's like literally across all the seas, but it's possible.
She's across all the seas.
Didn't she like go back?
No, she's on Dragonstone.
Oh.
Stannis sent her to Dragonstone, not back to a shy or something.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, but but I had predicted that she wasn't back at Dragonstone, like she was still hanging around. Okay, we're gonna scrap that. He's getting a reunion with Stannis.
Right, but I think, like, you had said she was still hanging around to help Stannis win, but Stannis lost, so if she were hanging around, wouldn't they have won?
No, I said she was hanging around and gonna join another side because Stannis devalued her.
Oh, okay. See, you say all these smart things, but I don't remember any of them.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Okay, so wait, Davos reunion with Stannis?
Yes.
Question mark?
Yes. If Stannis is, still alive and out and about.
Okay. That's cool. Let's end it. We're at the 1 hour mark. Yay. Oh my god, this is one of our shortest episodes.
I think this is our shortest episode, other than like the
very beginning. Yeah. Okay. So everyone, email us. Our email is popculturesymposium@gmail.com. Follow us up on Instagram. It is @popculturesymposium. And of course, join our Discord. The link will be in the description. Until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.